since 1946. And off we go inside the Kohl Center and right into our living room. You ready to go or what?
Yeah, thank you, Chad Baker-Mazara. We needed to wake up. He woke us up there.
USC team that's lost 2 in a row, including a previously winless in the Big Ten Northwestern team on Wednesday. They are trying to right the ship today.
Well, Wisconsin's going to have to keep these guys off the free throw line. Now, USC's got to convert better. They've left a lot of points on the table, but they can do that. USC going to look to touch the paint.
That's Cam Woods, a midseason transfer, just joined the team December 18th, and he's been a big piece of them.
He'll distribute. He can get to the rim. Hasn't shot the basketball well, particularly from 3.
This guy has. He's in and out from John Blackwell.
Well, USC going to need to be more disciplined than they've been the last couple games. Some breakdowns, and with the way Wisconsin runs their ball screen continuity offense, you have got to be locked into what they're doing.
Open 3 from the corner, way too strong that time. That was Jacob Kofi. 5 straight wins for Wisconsin, including giving Michigan its only loss of the season in Ann Arbor a couple weeks ago. This Wisconsin team's been on a different level the last 2 weeks. Nolan Winter thought about the pick and pop.
Good stuff
from
there.
Behind.
That was great awareness there from Asar. That's what it's going to have to be. The pick and pop can give you some problems. Really good defense there. Asar had some issues at the end of that first half with Nick Martinelli. And here's Chad Baker-Mazara. I thought he was going to wipe us out, but putting on the brakes, and then Cam Woods getting all the way to the rim.
I'm upset we didn't get to see your reaction. You weren't ready for it.
No, I was not.
Kick out, Andrew Rohde for 3, and he cans it.
He knocked down a couple in the win at Penn State. At 9 points, also 6 assists, not a single turnover. Greg Gard's been on him to be aggressive, and he started to deliver a little bit with some offense of his own.
Yeah. He had struggled a little bit the previous couple games before Penn State, and Greg Gard said if we start getting more from him, we're already playing well right now, but it takes us to a different level.
Absolutely. You think about just how dynamic you can be with Boyd and Blackwell. Winter's giving you great stuff, and it's kind of who else is going to contribute on a night-to-night basis.
Kofi's strong on the fadeaway, and it's boarded by Bieljauskas. That's not even to mention Braden Carrington.
No,
he's done off the bench.
Awesome. When you look at his home road split, you're thinking, all right, maybe you can play a little better in the Kohl Center, but the Minnesota game, you think about what he did at Michigan, he's been tremendous.
Rohde this time is too tall on the 3. At this end of the floor, Wisconsin really wants to pack it in because of the lack of shooting.
Because of the way USC has struggled from 3, they're going to stop the ball.
Chad Baker-Mazara, the floater, no, and it's boarded by Boyd.
He can do this.
Splits the 2 defenders all the way to the basket, and he lays it in.
Well, Nick Boyd in the open floor has been electric all season long, averaging just under 5 fast break points per game. That is first in the Big Ten and 14th nationally. Better get back on him.
Physical move inside.
There's nothing wrong with that, but now they've decided we're going to go play fast, run our ball screen offense, and this is how we're going to play.
84 points per game for Wisconsin. They're on pace to have their highest scoring season since the 70s. Blackwell swiped away by Baker-Mazara.
Fun matchup here, Noah. 2 really good players.
Fade away. Blackwell cannot get the better of Baker-Mazara. Elijah Arenas, the son of an 11-year NBA vet, Gilbert Arenas, stop and pop from the mid-range.
Boy, how about that move right there? Just put it behind the back, put the brakes on, you lose Nolan Winter. There is no doubting that Elijah Arenas has incredible talent. As he gets more comfortable, it's going to be really good for USC.
This is Boyd accelerating into the paint, can't go high off the window. Offensive rebound, Bieljauskas.
There you see Boyd just drawing so much attention. There's nobody there to block out Bieljauskas, and now a second chance for the Badgers.
Tiptoeing that baseline. It was tapped by Chad Baker-Mazara. Stays with the Badgers and 9 to shoot.
Arenas at 6'6". He scored over 3,000 points in high school.
In 3 years.
And yeah, reclassified, didn't play his senior year. It's a big-time score.
Blackwell lowers the shoulder. Physical move inside.
And the look at Baker-Mazara, man, he put that right through his chest. Knocked him back, and John Blackwell, that's the weight room right there on that take.
6'4" Blackwell into the chest of the 6'7" Chad Baker-Mazara. Kofi kicks, corner, spot up. Baker Mazzara for three, splashes it in.
I like what USC has done with some of these open-sided pick and rolls. They put you in a bind. That low man's got to be the help guy. USC doing some good things offensively here early. And Baker Mazzara, well, they've gotten Elijah Arenas back. Jordan Marsh out today with a toe injury. He's played really well. You think about some of his big scoring games, 19 against Northwestern, 20 against Maryland. You get Arenas back, but you're missing Rodney Rice, who was phenomenal to start the year. 20 points and 6 assists a game. And Amarion Dickerson, a big part of this roster. You think about if they were whole, what they could be. And they're kind of trying to patchwork this thing with all the injuries they've had.
Blackwell, before the three, traveled with it, so wave it off. There is Rodney Rice, the shoulder surgery just 2 weeks ago. Robbie mentioned it, 6 games in, 20 points per game there without him for the rest of the season. And then Jordan Marsh, he's really been the only production they've had off the bench lately.
You think about a team that has struggled from 3. You get Rodney Rice out there. He's a big time to be because Baker Mazzara only played 14, fouled out. It's incredible production of 14 points in 14 minutes, but Baker Mazzara's got to do a better job of limiting that and staying on the floor. He's too important to this team.
Nolan Winter short on the 3, tapped out of bounds by Austin Rapp. It goes back to USC.
Really good closeout there. Got Jacob Kofi flying out. He's going to handle the ball screen, get back to Winter, get a contest, and certainly Ezra Sarr trying to battle Austin Rapp down there for that rebound. Every time down, it's empty side pick and roll here for USC. They're just clearing it out, and they're kind of getting their game on. I think the Badgers, they're going to let Cam Woods shoot that every time. 0 for 13 from 3 on the year.
Boyd gets into the paint, fades away, and connects.
Good jump stop there. Nick Boyd, it's pretty incredible the way he scores in the paint. He's 7th in the league in points in the paint per game, and everybody ahead of him, a forward that's 6'7" or taller.
Chad Baker Mazzara hits a fadeaway 3. You said it. Wisconsin's going to live with that, but if Chad Baker Mazzara can hit it,
and he can make it. He's kind of limited himself this season with some of the foul issues, but there's no doubting that he can score the rock.
Boyd curls in the paint. Rapp feeds Blackwell. Falls away mid-range, won't get it to roll in. Woods quickly in transition for USC. Kofi slapped away from him. Scramble for the ball. Rapp comes away with it. He calls.
There's that over-the-top move.
Arenas elevates over Carrington off the heel. Carrington 17 the other night in 16 minutes against Penn State off the bench. Pass fake, Bieljauskas off to the right. Offensive rebound, this is Rhodey, swings it back out for Carrington. Way off.
He shoots a moon ball. I've thought that every time I've seen Wisconsin play with so much arc. Weirdly, his home road splits are fascinating.
Yeah. Open look from the wing, and Kofi drills it.
And Kofi playing with a lot of confidence over these last 3. Now 4 of his last 7 from the 3-point line. He's a talented player, really skilled, puts it on the floor, blocks shots, versatile defender. Good cut by Boyd.
Nice.
Last 4 minutes for USC. Wisconsin hasn't scored in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It's been a bit of a struggle for the Badgers, who rolled in State College on Thursday.
That free throw puts an end to a 13-2 USC run. Arenas already with 4 points after he had 8 in his debut Wednesday night against Northwestern. 2-for-2 trip here for Boyd to cut the lead to 8. Baker Mazzara swings it out to Brownell. Cornish thought about the 3. Eight to shoot. Kofi at the elbow, walled up by Bieljauskas. Chad Baker-Mazara with 4, dribbled it off his foot. Great defensive possession.
Yeah, by far Wisconsin's best defensive effort of the day here.
See if it can spark some offense for Boyd, a top 5 scorer in the Big Ten. Step back 3 is short. USC with a chance to run. It's Brownell out in front of the pack and an easy lay-in.
Well, Wisconsin just not back. And a really good play there by Kofi to secure that rebound and look up the floor.
Wisconsin looking for transition points of their own, in and out on the Carrington 3. Bielyauskas the offensive rebound and 2 free throws.
Has, you know, the explosion of Michigan, the game against Marquette. For a freshman, he's still trying to find his way.
Arenas, hand in his face.
Tough one right there.
Cornish the offensive rebound. Baker-Mazara reloads, in and out. Oh, what a move inside, and Bielyauskas couldn't finish.
Hard because that low man has got to be ready to come over and take on the roller at the rim.
Arenas checks out after his second foul about halfway through this first half. Boyd with a pair of free throws.
You can feel the Wisconsin crowd trying to give their team a little bit of energy here over these last couple minutes.
They want something to cheer for.
Oh,
won't
man.
get it here. What a finish from Ezra Asar.
Same type of action, and you've got Asar, who is a handful at the rim, just going right through the chest of Bielyauskas.
You've mentioned that open side pick and roll probably 3 or 4 times. Now, how do you defend that?
Well, it's the low man. He's got to come over, and Bielyauskas did a pretty good job there. It's just better offense from one of the more physical players in the league. This is a good contest by the freshman at the rim. Look at all the space he's got. Bielyauskas comes over. If you wanted to get nitpicky, you could say meet him outside the lane. You got to be a little bit earlier on it, but that's pretty well defended.
Carrington slipping through the defense, and a blocking foul sends.
It's where you're like, make that make sense.
Yeah.
But he goes to Minnesota, a place where he played and just went nuclear, played really well at Michigan, had a big game at Penn State.
7 threes, 21 points in that win against Minnesota's former team. That one had to feel good.
Think he had that one circled on the calendar?
He might have. Baker-Mazara leans into a mid-range jumper. Lead is back to double digits, and it is a quiet, cold. Already 8 for Boyd, more than half of Wisconsin's points.
But Brownell really handled that well. Just being there to take on Nick Boyd, giving Cornish some help.
3 to shoot. What a spin from Blackwell.
John Blackwell would not be denied. Cornish there initially doing a good job on the defense, but you feel like Cornish, you get him leaning. There's that spin back to the right.
First field goal for Wisconsin in 5 minutes, and it has the crowd come to life, and here's a turnover. Boyd with nobody with him. Easy of a 2 as he'll have all day.
Well, poor decision there by Baker-Mazara. You leave your feet to pass on the baseline, you're in no man's land, and you gift the basket away to the Badgers.
You remember when I said it was quiet 30 seconds ago?
It can change quickly in this building.
Baker-Mazara, hand in his face. There's a silencer.
And pretty good defense there. Baker-Mazara kind of giving the quiet down motion here to the Kohl Center crowd. That's a big-time shot.
Rhodey in a pick and roll with Winter, scoops it in.
Nolan Winter's got a chance to play pro basketball for a long time. Really run, gets out there in the roll, takes you right there to the rim. Good action.
Baker-Mazara swirls out on this 3, but an offensive rebound in the putback. He is a bully down there.
That's a grown man rebound from Ezra Asar.
Every bucket for Wisconsin today has been answered by USC. Down and out on the 3, offensive rebound. The Badgers have been great on the offensive glass. Almost 19 a game and on 12 shots per night.
Well, and he's had foul issues all season long. You know, I did the Michigan game, and I don't think I've ever seen a player with 4 fouls in the first half. But I did see that with him. You know, he had that there earlier in the month. But when he's not in foul trouble and he's in a rhythm, he's a really good player.
They need Blackwell in a rhythm on this, and he cans the three.
Well, I love that Nick Boyd makes the play there. Touch the paint, draw the defense, set the table for Blackwell. Oh, that was a legal screen. Kofi's on it.
Yeah. Kofi, a little bit of space, in and out. Boyd the rebound. Wisconsin's got a chance to run. Brody rips.
Good job by Baker Mazar. No turn downs in this offense. Wisconsin has a lot of opportunities for that as the ball swings, but discipline there.
Blackwell hops through the paint. Rhodey on a catch and shoot, too strong. And great guard teaches rejecting the screens too.
I mean, it's a great opportunity to do it, especially after a couple ball reversals.
This is Cornish attacking, leaves it for Kofi, who flushes it.
Boy, good drive there. Ryan Cornish operating on the baseline. Much like we saw with Wisconsin and Nick Boyd setting the table. You draw two, you just drop it off.
Cornish has started games this year. He's had games where he didn't play, but he's getting some early minutes today with the Jordan Marsh injury. A guy that Eric Musselman said he is as bought in as anybody. He has trusted the process. Boyd is way off on the three. Saved in, Rhodey. Shot clock did not reset, and he swirls in a three.
These offensive rebounds, that's now 7 for the Badgers, are starting to stack up. USC's initial defense has been good, but they've got to shut these things down.
Shot clock at 6. Baker Mazara turns the corner, takes a little bit of contact, no whistle. Offensive rebound. Kofi with the left.
Going right back at you. That's a good defensive possession. USC spacing not great, but Kofi keeps it alive and saves the day.
Cornish called
218th in offensive rebound percentage. That's something the Badgers are known for, but they've been good on it today.
The lead has been as big as 10 a couple times. Wisconsin's gotten it down to 5. Nassar with a shot fake, muscling through 2, and a jump ball. Possession arrow does keep it here with USC at 11 to shoot.
But no, I like it for USC. Touch the paint with Woods, touch the paint with Nassar. That's where he wants to operate. Nassar, 4th in the Big Ten in points in the paint per game. He has a lot to handle and deal with down there. Good defense, though, by the Badger bigs.
Here's Baker Mazar with a step back over Winter, wide left.
Well, good job by Winter of moving his feet and contesting that three. You'll live with that if you're Greg Gard. He makes that, you tip your cap.
Wanted to get it into Winter, they couldn't. Got a little bit of a size advantage. Blackwell blows by the defender. Kick out, Rhodey again. No. Baker Mazara rips baseline. Double team, shuts him off, whips it to the corner. Kofi spins, double team there. Woods hangs and hits. What a finish.
Well, that double came over, and Cam Woods just a beeline there to the rim. Really good cut, and then an even better finish over the big.
Boyd, right back at you.
You've got to try to keep him away from that left hand. Man, you know the scouting report says it, but it's so much easier to say than actually to do. Those lefties, they just find a way to get there.
Already 12 for Boyd. Hits double figures in all 20 games this season for Wisconsin's leading scorer. Shot clock at 5. Nassar isolates against Winter. Nice defense. Kofi fading away with 1. Too strong. Blackwell pushing with numbers. Boyd steps through. Oh, couldn't finish.
USC has got to move Wisconsin's defense. And that last possession, they kind of hurt themselves being stagnant. See that thing getting moved from side to side.
Nassar, open look. Rare 3, and he's off the mark.
That's his first three-pointer attempted on the season. Wisconsin will live with that every time down.
Boyd catch and shoot. No. I know Wisconsin shoots it well, Robbie, but that's one of those felt like a paint touch.
Yeah, it's a little bit early. If you're really feeling it, you've made 3 or 4, I'm with it. But Nick Boyd, 0 for 3 on the game today. You feel like you can get that at any time.
Wisconsin just 3 of 16 as a team from distance. Kofi bounces inside to Asar, muscles it up and banks it in.
Well, good patience, and the shot fake right there. You've got Garlock, the freshman, coming over. There's where Asar with the patience and then going right through him.
Winter, got it.
Well, he shot the ball so much better in Big Ten play. 42% Big Ten games, and that's a tough guard for Gabe Dines at 7'5" to get out there on the perimeter.
Dines a great shot blocker, but you don't really want them out there perimeter defense, and Winter is stretching it out there. Good feed to Dines, the 7'5" big man. Timer's at 5. Woods. Here's Dines, 2 to shoot, knocked away from him, and it goes. Road against Wisconsin, a team that's won 5 straight. Greg Gard's team is one of the hotter teams in college basketball lately. Says Boyd getting downhill, high off the window. That's tough.
So good though, Noah, with that left hand. And you just put him in space, a little bit of a flat ball screen there. It's a tough shot, but it's one that Nick Boyd certainly is seeking out with the left hand.
Game high 14 in the first half after he had just 11 Thursday night against Penn State. Not that they needed much from him in that blowout win. Arenas right into the chest of Winters. Too strong. Tapped around. Badgers come away with it.
A good job there by Wisconsin of gang rebounding. It's a good move from Arenas. Get to the chest, knock that defender back. Wisconsin able to shut that one down on the defensive glass.
Badgers with a chance to tie or even take the lead on this possession after being down as many as 10. Oh, Boyd! Come on! Come on!
The slip and slide. It goes down and keeps his dribble alive. That was ridiculous.
Arenas draws a whistle, and he's got 2 free throws. This was
making plays for his teammates.
about a 3-second differential between game clock and shot clock to wind down the first half in Madison. Wisconsin has not led since it was 7-6. They've got a chance here. It's Boyd who gets into the paint, wrapped from the corner, buries it. Baker Mazzara at the horn, short. In the final 4:21 of the first half for Wisconsin, took them from down 10, now up 2 to start the second half. Looking for win number 6 in a row. Winter is swatted by Asar.
And that's an awesome counter, because instead of cutting through, it's a screen to get Winter going to the rim. Terrific help defense there by Asar, just blowing up that play.
Baker Mazzara with Winter in his face, splashes in the 3.
He can be a microwave scorer, and that was pretty well defended there. Winter going step for step with him, but again, just better offense, and USC has a couple guys that are capable of giving you that.
It's been a quiet scoring last 3 games for Chad Baker Mazzara, but man, he is out of that slump today. Winter on a catch and shoot.
Good contest there by Kofi, but again, another offensive rebound for the Badgers.
8 of them now for Wisconsin in the game. Blackwell, nice defense from Arenas. Spins into the mid-range, falls away, swirls out.
Arenas not allowing the turn down. And Blackwell able to get to that turnaround jumper, but that was a good defensive possession from the freshman.
Just his 2nd game of the season, made his debut Wednesday night against Northwestern after being out for 9 months due to that car crash and the knee surgery we talked about earlier. Pick and roll, that's off the foot.
To officiate in the Big Ten Conference. It's not just the coaches, it's the fans too.
Woods darts right down the middle of the paint, blocked by Bielyauskas.
Well, usually you'd be like, man, how weird, a midseason acquisition, but not really.
No.
Not anymore. That was one of the more normal
I was going to say,
he's actually got eligibility.
Yeah, non-controversial there. Winter lowers the shoulder right into the chest of Kofi. Won't bounce in.
That was really good by Kofi. Take on the ball, get back to Winter, and deal with that physicality.
Woods to Arenas, turns down the three, blocked from behind. Tip in goes though. Wow.
I love that he stayed with it, but you have to think he kind of passed up an open look from the perimeter to take a more contested one at the rim.
Has struggled in his 2 games so far. Was 3 for 15 from the field Wednesday, just 2 of 7 tonight. Boyd, a lot of space, and he makes them pay.
He's shown a little bit of everything. At the rim, plays for others, and now getting it going from the perimeter. Boyd's knocking on the door of another 20-point game.
Already has 10 of them on the season. Asar, this is where he does all his damage. Kofi, fall away from the elbow. Boyd the rebound, and he wants to push. Quickly down the other way. Boyd, no, but free throw.
And you can see why he's shooting 61% on transition 2s. Because he just beats everybody down. And he's tremendous on finishing with that left hand.
Greg Gard had told me a story that he put Boyd against Blackwell every day in the offseason. Didn't let them play on the same team. He wanted those 2 alpha dogs to go at one another. And it got me thinking, like, did Matt Painter ever do that with you and Etuan or you and Juwan or anything like that?
We did a lot more of the starters against the second 5, but there were times, it's interesting because you do want your 2 best guys to maybe iron sharpen iron type thing.
Asar blocked from behind by Winter. Says Boyd weaving through traffic.
Had Bilyauskis at the rim.
Winter couldn't get it to him. Instead, a kick out. Rhodey for 3. No.
And a really good jump stop from Winter to set that up. Good look for Wisconsin.
Those coaches that always tell you to play off 2 feet have that one circled. Arenas, mid-range jumper, bounces out. Between the legs pass from Boyd to Blackwell. Spins baseline. Baker Mazzara with the cutoff. Boyd gets the switch. Kick out. Winner spot up 3. No. And Baker Mazzara taps the rebound. Stays with Wisconsin.
Bilyauskis just impactful at giving them, the second chance points has really been a thorn in the side of USC.
Boyd splits the defense. Man.
Do you think knowing he likes the ball screen on the right side so he can get to his left? I mean, we've only seen it about 12 times tonight. Well, those are a little early there from Arenas. I'm not sure Eric Musselman loved that look.
A 7-0 personal run for Boyd.
Oh, what a block. And Kofi just swallowed that shot.
He has been great interior defensively. Cornish finds a slashing Woods. Arenas hops into the paint. Won't finish again. Another tough day for Arenas.
I do like him, though, off the move. He had a running start on that drive. I think Elijah Arenas got to be a little more patient here. Let that ball move from side to side and get an easy one.
Winter spots up straight away.
Good rebound. Boy, Braden Carrington, he goes to the glass. You're guarding him. You better check him out.
Rapp reloads. Won't get the bounce. Blackwell, a 3rd opportunity for Wisconsin. Still can't find it.
Wisconsin out here looking like the Houston Cougars. I mean, this is ridiculous.
And on a 4th chance, still can't finish. A 5th for Blackwell. No. Tapped him.
Killed them.
15 offensive rebounds. In fairness, 6 of them have come on this possession.
that was crazy. I'm sure that was discussed in the huddle.
10 to shoot. Boyd crosses over. Kick out. Blackwell. No. 7 looks at it. Empty-handed for the Badgers.
Well, Cam Woods there doing enough to keep Carrington off the glass there.
Can I ask you when the last time you saw a team that was on a 7-0 run was 0 for their last 8 from the field?
That is a crazy stat.
It's because USC has missed 5 in a row on this end. Baker Mazzara finds Woods. It's blocked by Boyd.
Oh, he had time and just didn't know it.
4 seconds on the timer, and now it goes back to Wisconsin.
But that's part of the problem with having Woods out there, is that Wisconsin is just going to pack the paint and sag off him because he is 0 for on the season. Look at where Carrington's at. Now, that's a pretty good effort because he's in the paint. He gets out, he gets a piece, but they're going to play off him for the rest of they've done it all game, but for the rest of this half, there's no doubt about it.
Carrington, quiet game for him so far. He's fouled on a 3.
His best shooting season of his career.
44% from 3 this season. The best he had in any of the previous 3 years was 34%.
And right on cue, breaking the foul shot. So thank you, Brad.
Yeah, way to go, Robbie. Tough
man.
finish on the inside. Chad Baker Mazzara.
Man, Wisconsin had the help right there. Chad Baker Mazzara, that was not an easy shot.
3.5 minutes without any points. Finally snapped for the Trojans. Still only down 4. Catch and shoot on the pick and pop, and Rapp drills it.
But you can't get turned down. You know, USC allows the turn down. The big has to help, and Austin Rapp, he wants that pick and pop. Good pass there out of the ball screen by Rhodey.
Kofi, no. Rhodey the rebound. Boyd dribbled it off his own foot. A collision between him and Baker Mazzara.
His effort. The only problem is it's not like he has fouls to give a lot of games.
He does today. That was only his second.
Been much better tonight.
Stayed out of foul trouble.
Good hesitation.
Rhodey, no, put back flush for Winter. Cornish,
that's a really early shot. And if Cornish had made a couple, I'm for it, but I don't like that possession there for USC.
Carrington for 3. Got it! It's trying to work through some struggles. They've lost 4 of their last 6. In fairness, 3 of those 4 losses against top 12 teams in the country.
This is not an easy road trip. Wisconsin playing so well, and then you go to Iowa, so a tough one here for the Trojans.
Woods wraps a pass inside to Asar, and a foul against Wisconsin.
But I like the idea. You know, get the ball screen, and you touch the paint, and you've got Asar with the switch with Braden Carrington. He doesn't catch the pass, but they end up fouling him. I just think that they've got to have a more of a plan when they get down here. At times it's just been so isolation based, and they can do that. But I think the ball's got to move before it.
Paint touch from Woods here on the kick out. Baker Mazzara off the screen from Asar. Jerry Easter, the freshman, draws a whistle against Carrington. They're not going to look at it. Blackwell is saying not only was it not off me, but I got fouled too. Woods with a kick out to Easter. Baker Mazzara working off the screen. Shot clock's down to 8. Easter traveled with it. Despite the struggles in this second half, Eric Musselman's team only down 8 on the road. Boyd spins.
Wisconsin does such a good job of staying within, they're going to run this ball screen continuity, but they give their players great freedom, especially Boyd and Blackwell, to make things happen.
Blackwell couldn't on that possession. Chance to cut it to 2. Scores. Asar on the inside. He has 2. It's a 2-for-2 trip. He's into double figures for the 11th straight game.
USC's kind of just hung in there.
Yeah.
They've weathered the storm of not playing as well offensively in the second half.
They have gone on a quick 6-0 run here. Boyd swatted away, does stay with the Badgers. I mean, they went through a stretch, Robbie, where they missed 12 of 13 shots, and to be down 6 on the road,
yeah,
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
For sure. They've hung in.
Blackwell, offensive foul.
Lowering that shoulder. USC has done a better job on some of these turndowns. Yeah, you get that little discard there. Jerry Easter gets knocked back.
Baker Mazzara, hand in his face on the three, is short. Winter tapped the rebound out of bounds, stays with USC.
Credit Cam Woods, smallest player on the floor, keeping that ball alive.
Post feed. Kofi tried to throw it in. Boyd chased it down. He was the last to touch it.
USC multiple times has found themselves on the baseline with nowhere to go. That was fortunate to retain that possession.
You've talked about being stagnant and a lot of isolation. How does USC fix that in the final?
I just think you've got to get multiple actions. You've got to touch the paint. You know, I love the way they played offensively for a lot of that first half.
Do get a paint touch here with Baker Mazzara. No, but the tap in goes.
He just puts so much pressure on the defense with the way that he can get to the rim and also shoot the basketball. Good job by Baker Mazzara staying with it.
And Boyd draws a whistle quickly the other way.
Get one.
Yep. Awfully generous. Swirls out the free throw. It did end a nearly 4-minute drought for Wisconsin. Baker Mazzara hops into the paint. Wants it back, and he gets it back quickly. Inside, Asar spins through the paint. 2 more free.
Getting to the paint, not settling for contested jumpers.
Well, that isolation is coming after 20 seconds of work, as opposed to...
It hasn't been the early shots where you're like, man, you can get that anytime you want it.
1 for 2 trip of the line. USC cuts the deficit to 5. Feed into Winter. Got the defender up, but Asar swatted it.
That's the same play out of the halftime break where a block wiped it off, and it's the same exact result there.
Catch and shoot for Rapp. No.
Oh, what a rebound there by Winter going up there, but active hands.
Last off of Winter, back to USC, and the Trojans have a chance to cut this to a 1-possession game. Open look, Easter from the corner, 2 strong wraps there for the board.
Now, Wisconsin's going to live with that.
Easter just 2 of 12 behind the 3-point line this season. Here's Rapp on a catch and shoot. No.
I think Eric Musselman going to live with that.
Yeah, you're right.
He can say the same. And I know Rapp can make them, but that is such an early shot.
Baker Mazzara with a runner, and the lane rattles out, but 2 more. Point fouled out in 14 minutes Wednesday night. He's committed just 3 fouls today.
And the fact that they've got 3 guys inside the top 15 in fouls here in the Big Ten, I think is very telling for their kind of season story.
5 straight wins for Greg Gard's team, including that win over then undefeated Michigan.
John Blackwell's been a little quiet here. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try to get it going, but an errant pass, and USC gets a stop.
Easter quickly running the other way. Wisconsin led by as many as 12 in this second half. USC has a chance to completely erase that here.
Go.
3 to shoot.
Asar knows it.
I don't know if Baker Mazzara does either. Fades away at the horn and connects.
Boy, just one of those plays where the possession is going nowhere, but Baker Mazzara's talent makes the play there off the bounce.
13-2 run for USC over the last 5.5 minutes. There's Rapp into the paint. 25 tonight for Boyd. Step back three. No. Scramble for the rebound. Easter comes up with it on his seat.
USC has locked up here on defense. They have been to the ball. They've taken away Boyd's left hand. And now an opportunity for them to take the lead here on the road.
Baker Mazzara for the lead. You bet!
That is a nasty step back there. Just leaves Rhodey in the dust and then steps it back. Baker Mazzara now with 24.
Winter has the response.
A big shot there. That ball moving from side to side, just a little bit casual. Now, if you're guarding Winters, that ball's coming towards you. Because of the way he shoots it, you got to start creeping back to him.
Baker Mazzara, great feet inside. And as Blackwell coming off the screen. Into the paint. Rapp loads up a three. Swirls out.
USC was willing to live with it. They stopped the basketball and dared Rapp to shoot it.
Good behind the back dribble. Baker Mazzara splits the double team. 5 to shoot. Cam Woods is tripped going into the paint.
Two at home.
Yes.
One to Northwestern, who hadn't won a Big Ten game to that point, and then one against Purdue, where they had some chances to win.
Baker Mazzara gets downhill, takes some contact, no whistle. Asar with a couple pump fakes and a bucket.
Well, and because Baker Mazzara is attracting so much attention, you have the contest at the rim, but you don't have anybody to block out Ezra Asar.
Blackwell to take the lead. Way off.
They've had Easter up the floor. Cam Wood's going to slow this down and run some clock.
Baker Mazzara goes with 10. Easter uses a screen. 4 on the timer. Gotta go. Kofi kicks. Woods deep three. That's the shot Wisconsin wanted them to take.
You know, Baker Mazzara may be tired because he's had the ball in his hands like every time, but if I'm him, 2 minutes to play, I'm not going to get Easter to come off the handoff. I'm coming right back off. I know they're asking him to do a lot. His usage in this game has been through the roof. But that was just never going to work there for USC. Not a great possession.
Boyd on a hesitation. Kick out. Rhodey wants the lead. No.
Well, these threes aren't really all that close. USC has committed to stopping these Boyd drives.
Timeout taken by Eric Musselman. 37 minutes tonight for Ezra Asar. Boyd turns the corner, gets into the lane, scoops it up with the left.
But that's the most space he's had, because a couple of Wisconsin's guards on the inbounds were out towards half court. No way to load up on him, and Nick Boyd makes a play off the bounce.
1 minute to go inside the Kohl Center.
There's no doubt about who's going to make this play. It's going to be in the hands of this guy.
And he gets the bounce.
He has had an incredible second half.
Boyd splits the two defenders, draws a whistle.
That's not an easy shot there with that lefty floater.
Boyd hits the front end of the 1-and-1.
Well, the 1-and-1 presents some real pressure. You don't see that in the pro game, but in college, all the time we see good foul shooters miss the front end, especially late in close games.
Well, not Nick Boyd. Connects on both. It's back to a 2-point game.
It looks like they're going to have John Blackwell. Maybe there's probably. Well, Muss is going to let him play. We'll see if he face guards Baker Mazzara. No. Now it's time for Chad Baker Mazzara to go.
Two-point lead, 10 on the shot clock. Asar's got it. He isolates, spins into the paint. Arenas, 3 to shoot, fades away from 12 feet, too strong.
How good was that from Blackwell? Really good defense.
Great guard's gonna let him play. Boyd into the lane, Boyd, no! And a whistle with 2.1 to go.